All right, since we live, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, bear with us. Let's check the feed real quick.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right. Hey, GMS Charlotte, back at you with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakak Kodash. All right, and before we get started, we want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, we're back at you live. I want to get into this topic here. Priest Amawan, me and him was talking before we got rolling. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death. All right, and this is speaking about America, Babylon the Great, man. You know, appreciate that.
Con, because like we was talking about, with all the revelations that's coming out of the wicked things being done by these elite Edomites, this is all pretty much to make the people submit unto them. I was on Threads the other day, and I was seeing this post from this woman that you see on the screen, and she was just going into how the way that they're releasing these Epstein files is being done like this on purpose, because the elites want to instill a sense of hopelessness, because they know the people they're not gonna really do anything about what's being done, because the way that they're doing it is a thing called reptile theory, and what they doing by releasing it this way is to pretty much overload your nervous system with all this horror of what's being done to these babies, the different rituals and sacrifices and whatnot, and the nervous system can only hold so much before it pretty much overloads, and like I said, it starts to bug you out. And so everything that's coming out, the people, all right, they're upset, but like I said, they're not going to do anything about it, because we are witnessing divine wickedness in the high places, pretty much try to establish this new world order. And so what they have to do is disarm the people from their intention to fight back.
Yeah.
And so this, amongst all the other polycrisis going on, is just to pretty much instill that sense of hopelessness, because they want you to feel like there's no savior that's going to come back and deliver you. And that's why it's important for us to have the Holy Spirit and understanding of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to stay, locked into what we have, because the people, they don't have a fighting chance to be able to withstand, the wiles of the devil, because like we're saying, man, this is all being done strategically.
Yep.
All right.
This is extreme. This is extreme high level psychological warfare that they're doing right now, man. Because they know, like you're saying, Priest, they know that the people are not going to fight back, right? So, but they're bombarding you with all of this abominable acts that they're doing, and people just can't take it. They like you said, it's overloading their brains to the point where people are just, as we're gonna see, they're eventually gonna bug out, crash out. I mean, hell, it's happening now. All right, people are just, people don't know what to do. And let me get a quick scripture real quick before we go into the video. All right, this is Job 10:21, and it reads, it says, "Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness in the shadow of death." All right, and that's America, man.
Yep.
All right, this is that land of darkness in the shadow of death. Okay, verse 22, a land of darkness as darkness itself. Okay, end of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness, man. So as you've been seeing, anything goes here, man.
Yep.
All right, and now that these X files are out, the Epstein files are out, man. I mean, it's just nonstop wickedness, man. All right, and like we were talking about earlier, they're just showing the stuff that they want us to know. All right, imagine how darker and deeper that rabbit hole is. You know what I'm saying?
Like the things that we were talking about yesterday in the group chat, like a couple of videos that y'all shared. Like you said, these are the things that they're letting be put out.
Right.
The different factories where they're cutting these bodies up. All right, the accounts of these different shipyard containers being found with baby parts in it, like the one that you sent with the I don't know if he was a scientist or whoever the hell he was that had that container. Yeah, the doctor that was they had the container in his backyard, and they ended up repossessing it, and they opened it up, and it was all like a couple thousand baby bodies and shit. It's all bugged out, but like I said, yeah, all these different things are being done on purpose because they want to destroy your psyche to make you bow down. This is the devil that we're dealing with, man. All right, and like we said, this is the land of darkness. All right, without any order, where the light is, that's darkness, man. These people don't have any solutions, any type of proactive measures to try to figure out, how to fix the situation. Only the prophets. And what the conclusion that we have came down with in the spirit is that we need Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. That's it. That's the only way this is going to be fixed, man. And I got one back you up. This is Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4. It says, therefore the law is slack, and judgment doeth never go forth, for the wicked doeth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Yeah, and this is why these devils are allowed to do these things that they're doing, because there's no true judgment being done to these devils at this point in time yet, because as we're going to get into in this lesson, all right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai had to let these things happen so that he can be justified in bringing the judgment that we always go into Esau about to receive for him to get, Yep.
Yeah, the Epstein files are a prime example of why the planet Earth needs new management. Mm-hmm. All right, prime example. All right, you hear us say that all the time, but now you see it. Right? These are your rulers. These are the people that are ruling over you. All right, that are creating these wicked and perverse laws. All right, that have been constantly getting away with these crimes, but it all had to be for the sake of prophecy, until the Lord brings the judgment,
I got one more for you.
Yep.
This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 in the Geneva Bible. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in the high places.
Mm-hmm. You got that.
So like you said, man, these elites, these are high level, devil worshippers, man. They are fully tapped into the left hand, because the things that's being revealed in these files and these videos and everything that's coming out, these are high level rituals that these devils are doing to appease the gods that they worship. All right. Baal, Molech, Baal, Peor, Asherah, and the list goes on, Baphomet. Mm-hmm. So they have, done a good job of conditioning the people into thinking that this type of stuff, is not real, that they will never feed you human meat in the food supply, that they will never, do these grotesque and horrific things to children, that's just not, that's not human nature.
Right.
No man would be capable enough to do that, but you don't understand the mind of the wicked. And ultimately, you don't understand the mind of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because we are dealing with the left hand, all right, in his full power. Okay, that's why in Job 9:24 it tells us that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. When you fully understand, all right, the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai on the left and the right side, all right, that's what gives you that cushion to be able to process what's being brought out now, man. And the people that don't have that, that's why we're seeing them bugging out. That's why we see them on the internet crying in complete shock, because they never in their mind could fathom that a human being could do the type of things that we're seeing in these lists.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I'll play the video for you.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
The Mama attorney says, the method with which the Epstein files are being released is deliberately designed to put you in a psychological trance. This is their strategy. Here's how I know this. In trial practice, when there are exhibits involving violence, children, or extreme harm, we do not simply dump information into the room. We go back and forth extensively about how and when something is shown. The judge guides the process. Experts contextualize it. It is a container equipped to hold this content. Courts understand that when the brain is flooded with horror, your system gets hijacked by the primal brain. You go into hypervigilance, rage, obsession, and collapse. We have a name for this: reptile theory. Reptile theory is a trial strategy built on this premise. If you can bypass the cognitive brain and activate the primitive survival brain, the oldest reptile part of the brain, you can control outcomes without ever persuading on facts or law. This strategy is not allowed at trial. This is why trials involving extreme harm rely on structure. The law does not do this to protect perpetrators, but to protect the jury. What is happening now is the opposite. There is a massive document dump with no categorization, containment, or guidance. The onus is placed entirely on the reader to make sense of chaos. There are random redactions that force the brain into constant guesswork. You have to deduce, infer, fill in the blanks. This keeps the mind spinning, searching, looping. You may have assumed that they are sloppy. They are not. This is a known strategy. The most ruthless corporate defense lawyers fight cases this exact way. Disorganized document drops and endless data with no roadmap, both high volume and also evasive. It's at the same time too much information, but also omits the most crucial information. The strategy has two predictable outcomes. One, you become consumed. You deep dive. You push to get more information. You stop sleeping. It takes over your life. Your focus narrows until there's nothing else. Gradually, they frack all of your life force. They keep you locked in an endless energy loop in their sick mind games. You become one of their victims. Two, you disengage completely. You decide it's too much, too confusing, too overwhelming. You walk away. It implodes from your exhaustion. Either way, they win. Same here. We received events frozen in fragments. There is no arc, only horrifying snapshot after horrifying snapshot. A nervous system can only hold horror if sequenced, paced, and contextualized. If it is not, it will oscillate, fixate, or shut down. What you are being fed is exposure to terror without containment. Make no mistake, this is psychological guerrilla warfare. When the nervous system is overwhelmed, it seeks relief. This looks like outrage, doom scrolling, obsession, or wanting to throw your phone into the goddamn ocean. Time starts to collapse, days blur together. You check your phone compulsively. You think, I just need to understand this piece. But there is no final piece. There's always another fragment, another horror dangling just out of frame. And you lose your agency. When the trauma cannot be held by the people who used it and cannot be processed by systems designed to contain it, it looks for somewhere else to go. It looks for nervous systems capable of carrying the terror. Mothers are particularly vulnerable to psychological warfare because of our protective instincts. So your body begins to alchemize what the children could not, because there we're in a shock of state. And what these men responsible refuse to metabolize. So you feel it. You feel it all. You feel it in your jaw, your gut, your chest. You are weary around your kids. You rage at your partner. You cut out relatives. You feel irritable. You have a headache and you can't sleep. You feel crazy. This is the trance, and it's where they want you. Please know this. Super important. You are not crazy. You are having a normal biological response to abnormal psychological warfare. When you name the wave, you start asking, what is being done to me and why? Noticing restores agency. Agency to engage or disengage, to step back, take breaks, to only review synthesis instead of fragments. Agency to refuse to become a landfill for unprocessed violence. You can demand accountability without sacrificing yourself. Justice does not require self-destruction. You are allowed to survive this intact. In fact, That is part of the rebellion too. We should listen to our lawyer friends.
You got a priest.
Yeah, so just showing, that this is all psychological warfare, like this woman was explaining, because, like I said, this is all a while of the devil. All right.
Right.
So as we, was going into this, just so that you can see it without it, the screen continuing to change. It says, what is reptile theory and law? It says the reptile theory is a plaintiff litigation strategy aiming to trigger jurors' primal reptilian brain instincts for survival and safety to win large verdicts by arguing that a defendant's dangerous behavior threatens the community. Attorneys urge jurors to punish the defendants to protect themselves. So ultimately, this is just showing you, one of the wiles of the devil. And this is why, being a so-called conspiracy theory, a theorist or whatever, that was actually, a good process for us before we came into the truth. All right, because that helped prepare our minds to understand the type of wickedness that we was about to see as we, learned who the devil was. Okay.
Right.
When you read Second Thessalonians, it talks about, that man's sin being revealed. And as we continue to learn about what this man is doing and everything that he's pretty much bringing into the earth, the Spirit, gave us that cushion ultimately, like I was saying earlier. So real quick, this is Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Because when you understand Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you understand the duality of how the Lord works.
Yep.
Scriptures like Isaiah 45:7, where it says the Lord creates good and evil. So if we know that the Lord is behind both of these things, we begin to understand of why he allows the things in the earth to happen. All right. Yep. The people, all right, they don't understand that concept, because things like religion, all right, they split the Lord's duality into where it's God and it's Satan. And they think that Satan is an independent agent to where he does things off of his own accord, and that the Most High is not aware of what he's doing, which that's false. And right. that's what puts people in that mindset to think, oh man, God wouldn't do that. Man wouldn't do that. This is of the devil. No, right. It's the Most High that allowed these things to happen, because, like we were saying earlier, the Lord had to have this wickedness take place so that we, as being the judges of the earth, we would know wickedness on its fullest level, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna add on to what you said, because this people think. Let me see if I can pull it up. My computer's moving a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But people think that this is what's going on. Right. The average, people-minded person, they think that this is what's going on. It's this epic battle, what I'm saying, with JC and Satan and shit, man. No, like you said, priest, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, controls both sides. Okay. He's allowing these things to happen. All right, so prophecy can be fulfilled, right? Let me get something real quick, just add on to what you said, because the majority of the mindset of the people of this world think like this image you see right here, right? So this is Isaiah 45:7, and it reads, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, do all these things. All right. The Most High, he controls both the left hand and the right hand side. All right. Both the righteous angels and the demons. Okay. This is the Lord's movie. All right. He created all things. Proverbs. Let me get that too. Was it Proverbs 16? All right. Even the wicked for the day of evil. Right. Proverbs 16:4. And it reads, it says, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. You see? So these two precepts alone show you that the Lord is in full control of everything, man. Right. You got it, priest.
And understanding that gives us hope to understand that it's going to be a judgment that's going to proceed out of everything that we're seeing. Because like we were going into with the whole reptile theory, and that's a method that's used in the court of law. We'll understand we're literally on a court of law, right? In the court of law on a high level, a high spiritual level, man. All
Right.
right. The wicked is being brought to trial as we speak, and as us being the witnesses testifying against the wicked that's being done, before the Lord can truly, judge a kingdom, he has to expose all the wickedness that's going on before he renders that verdict. You
Right.
know, now we understand the verdict has already been given before this was even brought out.
Right.
So now the people, they have to see it for themselves before we really get to that next stage of the Lord, bringing that process of judgment into the earth.
Yep.
That's why as these things are coming out, we're about to see this devil go to that next stage of bringing this shit out,
That's it.
as far as coming against the people, because the people, their defenses are weakening as these videos and these reports continue to come out, because they can't process it.
Right.
That's why on TikTok and all these other social media sites, people are crashing out because their minds are blown out of the shit that they're hearing. And I got one more before you play that one.
Yep.
We can jump to the 21st minute of that one.
Yep.
Real quick, because this is the state that they want the people in. This is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12. It says, "Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, is a tree of life." All right. So it says, "Hope deferred maketh the heart sick," and we as a nation are sick because our people don't know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's why Isaiah, the first chapter, tells us that our people are sick, from the head down to the foot, and that starts with them not having the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So not knowing the Lord, coupled with everything that we're going into in this lesson, that leads to you easily being overtaken and destroyed, because you're not going to be able to process what's coming out. That's why I said earlier, it was a good thing the Lord, allowed us to, venture into these things little by little, as far as being so-called conspiracy theorists, because it opened our mind to understand it's a world beyond what they tell us in Christianity and whatever other belief system that you have prior to the truth.
Yep. Yeah, it's beyond. It's just, see, when we call the so-called white men the devil, all right, now you see what we're talking about. Now you understand. Now you understand what we really mean. All right, because before, you just use an example, 10 years ago, right, 12 years ago, right, people will hear us on the videos or on the highways and hedges saying that, and they would just think, okay, y'all just a bunch of racist niggas. You know what I'm saying? But now, all right, now you're truly seeing what we mean when we call this man the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Yep.
All right. This is what he does. This is his characteristics. He's the man of violence. All right. He's the wicked and violent man. Psalms 140. All right. Who has proposed to overthrow your goings, man. This is him. All right. And see the videos that went out yesterday. All right. Going into the pastor that brought out, the connection of the Rothschilds to the Edomites and how he's being revealed in his time. You see, now it's all coming out now, man. Now what's been said about this man is being confirmed through the Spirit now.
And that's why that knowledge needs to be learned. You got to know who the Edomites are. That mystery has been revealed, because if you're still stuck on niggas calling out the so-called white man, we call him the devil, y'all still looking at it as it's black and white. No, it's way deeper than that, man. Because this nigga really is the spiritual demon Satan in the flesh.
Facts.
All right, they're doing the will of the spiritual demon Satan. That's the only way that you can really understand of how they're able to do the things that they're doing, man. Right. You were looking for something?
Yeah, I was trying to get that Bible dictionary, man. The definition of Esau Edom.
Oh, I got you.
You got to, because hey, you got to lay down the facts, man. Just to bring that out. And there's another book,
Zondervan, right?
Yeah, how to design them. And also, hey, don't forget about this one, the old school classic.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Don't forget about that. Okay, this is a good read, man. Lays it all out. Everything that's going on in the world is written in this book as well. All right. But anyway, you got it, brother.
You said Edom, right?
Yeah, I believe it's either Edom or Esau, one of the two.
Edom. This is from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says Edom or Edomites, the nation and his people who were the descendants of Esau. He founded the country, so his name is equated with Edom. Let me jump down. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments.
Yep.
See notably Isaiah 34 and 5, verses 5 through 6, and Isaiah 63 and 1. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High.
Man, the only nation that wasn't given mercy by the Most High. Romans 9 and 13. Okay? Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now you understand that, man. All of this shit that's being exposed and revealed in this time, like I was saying last night, now we understand, pursuant to the book of Obadiah, why the Lord is going to get rid of the house of Esau, man. He's going to totally eradicate the Edomites, man. Now you get it.
Right.
Okay, this is who these people are, man. Okay, outside of the because you know a lot of stuff is tied with the tiny tops, but no, in general, Esau in general,
all Edomites,
right? All the Edomites, because even before this stuff came out with the tiny tops, what was Esau doing to Jake in slavery?
Exactly.
Right. Hey, this is before fucking cell phone cameras, all right, and body cams and shit, right? Imagine what they were doing back then when there was no laws to help Jake out. All right, the shit eating Jake.
Yep.
You know, using the skin. All right, you know all the horror stories that you know that these Edomites committed against our people during those times, Jim Crow era, all of that shit, man. These are the Edomites. You got it, bro. Slack.
Yeah, these niggas are vampires, like that dude Peter. Night. His last name start with a G. But he was, you know, drinking blood, you know, he impregnate the so-called black women, and then you know, pretty much drain the baby, you know, of his bone marrow and all that shit. You know, he was literally drinking his baby's nutrients from the women.
It's crazy.
But like you said, it goes, you know, against all Edom. That judgment against all Edom, because I said this in my lesson yesterday. You got to remember. All right, the Edomites that were brought over here to the Americas, these were the worst of the worst Edomites that came over here.
Yep.
So, like you said, there was things that they're doing that's being overlooked, as well as the tiny top. The tiny top are just the worst of the worst. All right, they're the top tribe in the nation of Edom, but all you Edomites are wicked, man. You know, so none of y'all gonna get away, man.
Yep, I got one precept before we play the video, right? Lamentations 4:21. And it reads, Lamentations 4:21, it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. All right, you can tie that to America. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. Okay, and that's what the Lord is doing. All right, he's being made bare.
Yep.
Verse 22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. You got it, priest.
And that's what's happening now. Hey, Esau's his sins are being discovered. Like we always bring out that precept, and I believe in the Wisdom of Solomon, where it says that make inquisition into the counsel of the ungodly. Yep. And what's coming out? Everything that we've been bringing out, you know, since coming into the truth. Esau has an extensive rap sheet, all right, and we're at a point in time to where everybody is beginning to call him out. Shit, even his own people. The video I did yesterday, all right, you have even his women that's sick of the damn Edomite man now, because they're even coming out and saying that they don't feel safe around Edomite men no more, man. You know, because they know that Esau can't stay in power without killing people, all right, and whether it's another nation or even their own. All right, so everybody's sick of the so-called white man. That's why Yahweh Shemel Shai is revealing his sins, man. And this is showing you, like you said, the justification with scriptures like Obadiah 1:18 and others. Because this man, the earth won't know true peace until the Edomites are gone.
Absolutely. Here we go.
This is my thing. My thing is this. Where is God? Where is he? Where has he always been? And when is he coming back to fix this shit? Because what you have to understand is this world is completely fucked up. Everything about it is fucked. Everything. Right? Everything. And the problem is, right? The problem is most religious people can believe in what they believe in because they don't understand how deeply fucked the world is. Like, let me tell you, when I stopped believing in all of this shit, I stopped believing in all of this shit when I first went on the deep web. When I went on the deep web for the very first time, and I seen the things that I have seen on there, right? I literally told myself, it can't be. It can't be. It's no way on God's green earth that a man upstairs, wherever the fuck he is, or whatever it is, could allow this to happen. It's not possible. See, now niggas like, what's the deep web? Now we're talking about lack of information, right? When you lack information, you can have a belief system. When you gain information, your belief system goes out of the fucking window far. Right? Right? When you lack information, you can sit here and walk through this world like everything is going to be okay. The more information you gain, you start to tell yourself, holy shit, we're fucked. Right? Oh, you don't know what the deep web is? Well, maybe you should go Google it. Now, the thing is this, right? The more and more I search the deep web and the dark web, the more and more I searched it, the more and more I start to realize there can't be no God allowing this shit. And if you are allowing this type of shit to happen, then you most definitely are evil.
Right. I got to add on to this because, see, just like you was explaining, Priest, these are niggas that lack the understanding. They don't know Yahweh Shemel Rashad. They don't understand prophecy. They don't understand the way the Most High set this thing up. All right.
Mhm.
That's why nigga can get on camera and say some shit like that. Right. This is Job. All right. Straight to the point. Job 9:24. What did the Lord say? All right. Let's pull it up. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay. Whose world is this? All right. This is the world of the wicked. This is Satan's world, man. Okay. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. Going back to who? The Edomites, man.
Mhm.
They've been given the power over this world, man. All right. For this this short period of time, this little season. Okay. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. All right. Going back to iconoclasm. All right. When you have the during the Renaissance period, when they changed all the images of the prophets and the Messiah to Edomites, he did that. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if this Edomite is not the devil that the Bible speaks of, then who is he? Where is he at?
Yep.
Okay. And see, this is what niggas don't understand. Okay. The Lord has everything set up according to his will. Okay. So what do you say? If the Lord is allowing this to happen, then he must be evil, right? But we just read Isaiah 45:7 that the Most High controls both sides.
Yep.
All right. So again, as we always talk about, this knowledge is for high level thinkers, man. All right. You got to be able to really tap into the spirit, man. And that's a gift that the majority don't have. All right. Yeah, this shit is fucked up. We all know that this shit is fucked up, but we understand that there's a purpose behind it all. All right. Prophecy has to be fulfilled. Okay. The Lord allowed these things to happen. Just like, hey, every kingdom on earth had a time of rulership and a time of its fall. Right. And right now we're in the time of what? Of the fall of Babylon the Great, which is America. You know?
If I can add to you real quick, because like you said, when you understand what you just read, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. That gives you insight into the capacity of what this man can do, because
Yeah.
the Lord gave him the power to do what he's doing. We read earlier,
Yep.
hey, the Lord controls both good and evil. So the left hand has full reign to do, their what they want. So just showing you that this is in the prayer of Azariah, chapter 1 and verse 9. It said, "And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world."
See?
That's how he's able to do the things that he's doing, because this nigga is the most wicked. He's the sons of the wicked. All right. You go into the three classification of men. You have the sons of God, all right,
Yep.
the sons of the wicked, and the sons of men, which are the heathen, other heathen nations, man. So
Yep.
the sons of God, where is the physical incarnation of the right hand? Well, the sons of the wicked, they're the physical incarnation of the left hand.
That's it.
So as much as the godly, the miracles that we speak about, the spiritual power and everything, hey, the left hand got their shit too, man. And they
That's
got
it.
the rituals and things that they have to do as well, man. So
exactly.
that's the world that we live in, and you have to understand that.
Yep.
That
Yep.
the mindset of what you see this dude Daylight having, that's the revelation that the people of today are having. That's
Yep.
why it gives me understanding when I read the scripture here in Luke 18 in verse 7. It says, "And shall not Yahweh Hashem Yahushua avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth?" Because when you put a limit on the Most High, and to say that, oh, how could he allow this to happen? If he was truly just, he wouldn't allow these things to happen. That puts a block on you to where you can't conceptualize what's being done, which is why, like we read earlier in that reptilian theory, or reptile theory, that you have to, the Most High has to open your mind to understand both sides of the spectrum, because
That's
if
it.
not, that's why it's going to be a plethora of people throwing away their belief in the Most High,
That's it.
because they've been lied to about what the Most High is capable of doing, man.
That's it.
The
I
Most
got
High, he's not evil in the sense of like how he's trying to make it seem like, but
Right.
the Most High is just on both sides, because if he was all of one emotion, like the church says, that would make the Most High unjust power, man. Good and evil is necessary in the earth. There's no peace without war. There's no good. You wouldn't know one without the other, man. That's what
Yep.
makes the Most High, man.
Ooh, man. Man, I got a few scriptures to add on to you before we go back to the video. Number one is the one in the Apocrypha, where it goes into the duality of the Lord. All right, good against evil, right versus left. It's in the Apocrypha. It was in my mind. You know where it's at? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm about to get it for you now.
Okay, come on. And then we'll get that first, and then I got two more behind that, and then we'll go back to the video.
Yep. This is Sirach chapter 33 and 14.
There you go.
Let
me pull it up. Hold on.
You good?
Give me a second. Because that's a heavy scripture, man. What was that? Sirach 33 and what?
14.
All right, Sirach 33 and 14. Bear with me. Okay, you got it out.
Yep. Sirach 33 and 14. It says, "Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly."
There you go, man. That's the duality. That's how the things work. Go ahead.
It says, "So look upon all the works of the Most High,
Whew.
and there are two and two, one against another."
There you go. Good versus evil. All right, the right and left, hot and cold. All right, the sinner versus the godly versus the sinner. All right, this is how the Lord has this structure set up. Right. So if you had the understanding, you wouldn't be saying these things, man. But since the majority of the world has been blocked from the light, this is why niggas come out and say things like this, because they lack the spirituality. They lack the understanding of the Lord. I got one more.
If I can add to you real quick too, because off of this, it's a reason why the Lord is showing us all this wickedness, because that's what's going to instill the fear.
Right.
This is why we have to fear Yahweh Shemel Shai, because the left hand, all right, that shows really that's judgment. As fucked up and crazy as this shit is, you got to understand at the same time that the people going through what they're going through, those are judgments from the Lord, man. Because like what's that in Job? I think 4:7, where it says nobody perishes being innocent.
Exactly.
Those are judgments, man. So yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's wrong, but understanding on a higher level of thinking, those are judgments. So them individuals that the Lord has being put in those situations, they had to be some wicked motherfuckers for the Lord to allow that shit to happen to them, man.
Facts, man. You don't know how they lived in a previous life,
right?
So when they came back in this current life, they received their judgment. It's not judgment played out on earth.
Exactly.
You know, Job 4:7, what you were saying, Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or were the righteous cut off. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It says, let me read a little bit more. Verse 8. It says, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. All right. So nobody is cut off from the Lord being innocent, man. All right. Understand. And that's another part of having understanding, man.
Yeah.
You know, when things happen, it's all of the Lord. You know, let me get a couple more and we'll go to the video. Right. Mm-hmm. Let me get this one too, because I was thinking about this as well as he was talking. This is Isaiah 55. In verse 8, it says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts, right? So like it says in was it Second Ezra, the 4th chapter, you know, your mind has gone too far in this world, you know what I'm saying, to think that you can understand the ways of the Most High. I'm roughly paraphrasing, man. But that's the problem with niggas, man. This is why you got to get understanding, right? Couple more. This is First John 5:19, and we know that we are of the Most High, and the whole world lieth in wickedness, as we just read Job 9:24, right? The whole world lieth in wickedness, and I always get that word for lieth. Let me get that real quick. All right, that word lieth, straight to the point. At the bottom here, number 3, lies in the power of the evil one, i.e. is held in subjection by the devil. Okay? This is Satan's world, man. Okay? One more. 2 Corinthians 4:3. The point is in 4. 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, like the nigga that you see on the screen. All right? What's his name? Daylight. Okay? Those that are lost, the ones that the Lord didn't want to get this knowledge, to get the truth, to be destroyed. Verse 4, 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. All right, so he's a prime example of this scripture right here.
Right.
In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Who's the God of this world? All right, Satan, man. All right, through the physical incarnation of the Edomite, man. Okay. It says, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shai, who is the image of power, should shine unto them. So again, the light didn't shine unto these people, man. Okay, they're without the knowledge. All right. Let's go back.
Stop believing in all of this shit. I stopped believing in all of this shit when I first went on the deep web. When I went on the deep web for the very first time, and I seen the things that I have seen on there, right? I literally told myself, it can't be. It can't be. It's no way on God's green earth that a man upstairs, wherever the fuck he is, or whatever it is, could allow this to happen. It's not possible. See, now niggas like, what's the deep web? Now we're talking about lack of information, right? When you lack information, you can have a belief system. When you gain information, your belief system goes out of the fucking window far. Right? Right? When you lack information, you can sit here and walk through this world like everything is going to be okay. The more information you gain, you start to tell yourself, holy shit, we're fucked. Right? Oh, you don't know what the deep web is? Well, maybe you should go Google it. Now, the thing is this, right? The more and more I search the deep web and the dark web, the more and more I searched it, the more and more I start to realize there can't be no God allowing this shit. And if you are allowing this type of shit to happen, then you most definitely are evil. If you are allowing this type of shit to happen in the world, then you are very evil.
Yeah, and this is the same mindset niggas have when we talk about slavery, man.
Right.
When we went through hell and back, man. Well, why would the Lord allow that to happen? Because we were disobedient. We broke the laws, man. All right. He put us in captivity, but that doesn't mean that he totally rejected us or forgot about us. Mm-hmm. Right. We had to be punished, you know,
because the dark web is one of the most horrible places I've ever been in my entire life. Yo, I seen somebody eat a baby, dog. I seen all type of crap, dog. You don't understand. Let me tell you how I went to it. Let me tell you what happened, right?
Jump up to like the 31
so
minutes.
Tell you,
31 minutes.
Okay. Because he goes into what made him get on the deep web. Nigga was trying to buy a fucking silencer for some, like a gun or whatever, but then he goes into the other stuff that I wanted to show.
Got you. 31. Here we go. 30. Yeah.
One Bitcoin. Right. There's a dude holding a baby, and it says "Watch live." 1 Bitcoin. This was back when Bitcoin was still cheap. That, cause see, a lot of y'all don't understand. This is what Bitcoin was used for prior. See, a lot of y'all niggas don't understand what Bitcoin is. Untraceable money. This is what it was used for. It's used for all the fucked up shit. Cryptocurrency. It was used to buy all the fucked up shit. But now it's becoming popular. But prior, it was used to buy fucked up shit. People don't understand this. People think it's just new. Now, it's just now coming to the surface where people are investing in yada, 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 right? So niggas have no idea when they invest into Bitcoin, they're paying all their money to perverts. Perverts, rapists, killers, pedophiles. So that's who's selling the Bitcoins. It ain't regular Samaritans. You got regular killer niggas like, you know what? I got 50,000 Bitcoin. I'm gonna sell one of these motherfuckers, 16 bands, right? And then on top of that, I'll probably eat the nigga children because when the nigga buy a Bitcoin, I'm gonna have all this information. So when the time come, I might eat the nigga organs. So boom, right? So right on the left, on the right side, say to watch now live 1 Bitcoin. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is a Bitcoin? I'm like, well, this shit look like some creepy shit. I ain't watching this shit. So I start searching for weapons, right? So I'm on the deep web, I'm on the dark web, deep web, whatever you want to call it. I'm searching for weapons. I'm searching for silencers. So I get to the little site that I need to get to. Boom, I find it was like a black market site for weapons. Because you remember when you was younger, you used to really ask yourself like, yo, how some of these niggas in the hood got assault rifles? Niggas got all type, like, yo, where you get this shit from? You didn't go to the store. Nigga, the homie had a bazooka one time. Like, nigga, where you get a RPG from in the hood? All right, so boom. I'm like, all right, well, how I'm gonna pay for this shit? You feel me? And the shit is like, yo, you have to buy everything in Bitcoin, right? Right? You have to buy everything on the dark web, deep web. You gotta buy everything in Bitcoin, everything. You can't spend credit cards. You can't spend none of that because, nigga, you put any credit card information, they gonna wipe your whole life. They gonna find out where you live and they might come eat you and kidnap you. So you don't put that type of information on the dark web at all. You don't put none of that. Or deep web, dark web, same shit, right? Right? So boom. I'm like, yo, where the fuck do I get Bitcoins from? Like, how the fuck do you even buy a Bitcoin? Like, what the fuck do you have to do? So then I start searching around for where to buy Bitcoins from. At this time, they were only 8 cents. It was 8 cents for a Bitcoin, only 8 cents at this time. Boom.
It's like I'm trying to find the part he was
So,
talking about the
You know,
babies
I'm
and
searching
shit.
around. I
Give me a
find a
second.
little dude that had some, dude.
Yeah. It's all good. You know, we just, he's giving you the example of the pure wickedness of this world, bro. You know, and this is why the Lord is coming to judge this evil world. You know, and as he's questioning the Most High, why would he allow these things to happen? You know, all this evil to go down, he must be evil himself. And as we're trying to tell you, is because it's his lack of understanding. All right. Just like the majority of you niggas out there that scoff and question the motives of the Most High and things like that. I'm gonna grab a scripture while you find that out. All right. Let's grab let's make the point in 2nd Ezra 15. All right, I want to pull this up in the chat as well. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra 15. And I'm sorry, here we go. Let me pull it up over here. Right. See, 2nd Ezra 15 and straight to the point. Okay. I'll read to it. 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, save the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right? We're not worried about the disbelief and your lack of faith, and for whatever reason. All right, we know that the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai are faithful and true. Verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All right, it's plain. Verse 5. Behold, save the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. The point.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. 2nd Ezra 15:6. Excuse me. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, right? As we see it. Okay. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So now, okay, the Most High allowed these things to happen, and to that point of that cup, if you will, being fulfilled. And now the Lord is going to bring the judgment. This is where we at now.
Yeah.
This is why we're at the climax of all this fucking, debauchery and wickedness that's being played out in the earth, man, because the Lord is about to bring the sword. Okay.
If I can add to you,
yep,
because that's the main reason why all these things are coming out now. So the examples of what is being done, that wickedness that's being done, is being shown to the world, because we're at a point in time to, like you said, that cup is overflowing. The Lord's about to bring judgment.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Let me go to the chat real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just looking that up. And I'm gonna get straight to the point here. Bear with me. Computer lagging a little bit, Shalakia. All right. So let's just go to the point. Context is 2nd Ezra 15, global judgment, war, famine, and civil unrest, divine punishment upon nations. All right. Verse 6 explains why judgment is coming. Wickedness has not only increased, it has polluted the whole earth. All right, as we see. Okay. Let me jump down. Okay. Number 3, verse 72, mystery of iniquity. I had put it in 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, going back to the Roman Empire, right? But it says both passages show evil working progressively, a ripening or fulfillment of sin, a point where judgment is triggered. You see? So like you said, priest, this is why all this shit is going on, because, hey, the Lord he's about to perform his work.
Yep.
All right. How does the scripture go? It is time for thee, O Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Right? It says, key phrase breakdown, wickedness has exceedingly polluted. The Greek concept behind polluted implies moral corruption, spiritual contamination, legal guilt before the Most High. As you said earlier, priest, we're in the midst of the trial. All right. That inquisition is going out against Esau, the wicked. All right. And all the evidence is being presented before the judge.
Yep.
Right. It says sin is not private. It affects land, nation, systems, future generations. their hurtful works are fulfilled. This suggests sin reaches a full measure. Compare Genesis 15:16. Iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Okay, before the Most High removed them out of the way. Right? There is a tipping point. God allows evil to ripen before intervening. See that? And this is what niggas don't get. Okay? Yes, hey, shit is fucked up in the world. All this stuff is going on. Niggas is sacrificing kids, drinking blood, eating fucking intestines and shit like that. The worst of the worst type of shit you can think of, right? But yes, it's being allowed to happen because the Lord is about to intervene.
Right.
As he always has done.
Right.
And remember, back in the land of Canaan, all right, well, the Holy Land, right? You had all those Hamites in there doing all them same practices, right? And it was a set measure that had to be fulfilled before we took over the land, right? Before them dirty ass Hamites were eradicated out of the land. It's the same thing here. Okay, it says in biblical theology, judgment comes when mercy has been rejected, warnings ignored, corruption institutionalized. Right there, you go. You want to add in there, priest?
Nah, that was on point because, like you said, the Lord had to allow these things to happen because, hey, you quoted Genesis 15:16. I want to read that real quick. It says, but in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Because, like you said, those Hamites had to fulfill that wickedness before the Lord took them out. And like you said, when you go back to it, the Amorites, they were Canaanites ultimately, man. And we know that Canaan was cursed, and so that he had to do the things that they did before the Lord got him out. And so we're in the same position we're in today with the Edomites. Exactly. The Edomites are cursed as well because scriptures say what? Proverbs 3:33. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
That's right.
So same thing. We have to wait till his iniquity to be fulfilled before the Lord moves on him as well, man. So we're in the same boat.
That's it. Easy to understand. And when you have the understanding, you won't allow this shit to bug your mind out, man. We understand. We just got to be patient. We got to just continue to endure this shit because the Lord is about to take this man out of the way. All right. And I just wanted to add one scripture real fast. Revelation 18 and verse 5. For her sins, who's her? Babylon, America. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Shemel Shai have remembered her iniquities. You see that? So the Most High, please believe, he has tabs of everything that's going on. All right, nothing gets past the eyes of the Most High. The Most High said, "Do I not fill heaven and earth?" Right? You can't hide nothing from the Most High. I think that's Jeremiah 23, if I'm not mistaken. Right? He said, "Do I not fill heaven and earth?" Right, here we go. Jeremiah 23 and 24. Right? Matter of fact, I started at 23. I am a power at hand, said the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and not a God afar off. Verse 24, the point. Can any hide himself in secret places that I should not see him? Save the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, save the Lord? So who's gonna fucking get away? Right. You think the Edomites gonna get away? You got a priest.
Yeah, to add to you, this is Isaiah 45:7. It says, but thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yep.
So like you said, Esau was doing all this shit behind the scenes, thinking that nobody is knowing what he's doing, but he fails to realize that the angels of the Lord are recording everything. The scriptures literally say the eyes of the Lord running to and fro in the earth, roughly paraphrasing. So, hey, you're and this is why at the end of the day, this is why everything is coming out. All right. The Lord is revealing all these things because we're in the time of judgment, like you read. All right. So, hey, what the example we played that video with Daylight as an example to show you the mind of these people in the world. All right, they're about to be crushed because if you can't accept the shit that's coming out now, how are you going to be able to contextualize what's about to happen in Jacob's trouble?
Yep. And
it's going to be, scripture says it's going to be a time like no other. So it's going to get even worse. The shit you're going to be seeing is going to trump the videos that you're seeing, coming from the Epstein files, man.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
If we can go back to that video real quick, you can start it back at 38 and play a little bit, and that'll be it for that. Because I just wanted that the details to be heard of what was said, why he's like that, and how the people are going to be pretty much.
Got you. 38 minutes.
Con.
Got you.
It goes 1 Bitcoin to enter. Boom. I enter the site. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life, ever. I get to the site. There's a baby strapped to the chair. A young baby, maybe like 8, 9 months, baby. Random dude comes with like, when there's like a fucking outbreak and they got on the outbreak clothes with the little all white, the yellow gloves and the little mask, like the dude has an outbreak. Boom. He walks up, the baby's in a chair screaming out the top of his lungs. But mind you, I never seen no shit like this in my life. So I'm like glued to the screen, like, what the fuck? So the dude comes, dog, he gets like a little tube or something. He gets a syringe, squeezes the stuff, and then drops the juice on the baby face. Dog. The baby face melted back. The nigga dropped sulfuric acid on top of the baby face, and the baby face melted back, dog. Now, that wasn't what bothered me the most, right? What bothered me the most about that scenario was seeing that there was over 1 million something people watching this shit. That's what bothered me more than the whole scenario. There was 1 million people watching, like it was like 1 million something people watching this shit. People was commenting, oh my God, that was radical. Can you put acid on the feet next time? People were commenting. How y'all commenting right now with suggestions? People were commenting, making comments like what to do next, what type of style they should do next, what type of acid they should use next. I was sitting there looking at this shit like, what the fuck world am I in? Wait, what? What is going on? Right? I paid for it because I thought like it was a place where you can get limitless pills. Right? That's what I thought. Hey, come on, Bray. What's up? I paid for it because I thought it was a place where you can get like an enhancement drug to enhance your brain. That's what I thought. Remind you, everything is clickbait, title clickbait. So this is what you got to understand, right? On the deep web and the dark web, the movies like Hostel, the movies like Saw, the movies like Human Centipede, the movies like all of that shit. That's what's on there. Hostel, Human Centipede, Saw, all of that shit is on there. Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's about it. We can stop it there.
Yep.
When I left the web that day.
Yep, you got it.
All right, and this is, like I said, you have to understand that the Lord is allowing these things to happen because we have to know that we're in the time of judgment. So these things must come out. So you understand what the Lord is about to do to the Edomites is 1,000% justified, man.
That's it.
You know, that
Mhm.
it makes sense. So when the people come up and they hear us talk about how the Edomites are going to go into slavery, how we're going to do double unto them, you know, what
Yes.
they did to us, and all the other judgment scriptures, shit like this is why. You
That's it.
know, real
Yep.
quick, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work." All right, the mystery of iniquity is the man of sins being revealed. All right, you know, the Roman Empire being brought back. These niggas bringing a fucking technocracy that's about to trap everybody in. Digital
Yep.
slaves, put a chip in you, all that, and those that don't comply, they're gonna kill. They're gonna do a mass genocide in the earth. These are all the signs to show you who the wicked is, man.
That's
You
right.
know, it says, "Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way." So the Lord is going to continue to let this man do what he's doing until it's time to move him out the way.
That's
Until
it.
Yahweh Shai returns and sets things back right, we're going to continue to see this shit, man. And
That's
it's
it.
only going to get worse.
That's it. I got one more. That's 2 Ezra 4. Okay, just adding on to what you just said. All right. So this is 2 Ezra 4. I started 23 here, read down. 2 Ezra 4:23 says, For it was not in my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen, right? And for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to none effect. All right. So you had Ezra questioning the Most High. You know, when is the kingdom going to be established for his people? Right. Verse 24. And we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is an astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. What will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked. Then answered he me and said, that the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. Exactly, because hey, we at the end, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Verse 27. And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come. For the world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. All right. And what we bringing out here is all part of that. Okay. The Epstein files, all the wickedness is going on. All right. The Satan worship. Okay. The wars, the mass death, biological warfare. Okay. Everything. The world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet, because certain things had to come to pass. You know, it's a process, man. Okay, before the destruction comes down. Verse 29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, okay, and what is sown? Babylon, America, man. Okay, if it be not turned upside down, if the place, I'm sorry, it keeps going back to it. It says, if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good, the kingdom. All right, so America has to be destroyed before the kingdom can be established, right? Let's get some more. Same chapter. It says, verse 30, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time? How much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? The time of threshing is destruction, man. And look how much more evil the world has grown since that time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Verse 31. Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to jump down. Let me jump down to verse 36. All right. It says, I started 35. It says, did not the souls also of the righteous ask question of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When comes the fruit of the floor of our reward? Right. And unto the and unto these things Uriel, the archangel, gave them answer, and said, even when the number of seas is filled in you, for he have weighed the world in the balance, right? So again, the prophets will keep coming back into that, that final reincarnation. Verse 37, by measure he have measured the times, and by number he have numbered the times, and he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Right. So the prophets would continue to come back until that said measure be fulfilled. And right now we are in the final rulership of the heathen, man. Okay, going into the Edomites. Okay, so the Most High is most definitely about to bring the judgment, man. Okay, we're about to be out of here sooner than what we realize, man. Okay, and that's the understanding that you're supposed to have. If our people understood these things, they wouldn't trip out, they wouldn't bug out. It's the point I'm making. You got it, Akia.
So that's why at the end of the day, man, you can't allow your emotions to override your logic. All right. Esau's wanting to play on that emotion, because that emotion was going to lead these people to bow down. They're going to be destroyed because they're not going to be able to think properly.
Right.
The Most High, he can't. If God allowed this to happen, then I ain't gonna believe in no God, man. And that's what's going to lead them into the new world order to get chipped, man.
Sure.
Because they got no hope or nothing else. They just gonna bow.
Sure. Yeah, if our gospel be his, it's his loss.
That's it.
So yeah, that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? A land of darkness is darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, man. That's this place, man. So that's pretty much it. That's all I had as well. And we'll close it out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makapachash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught us the truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom.
Pray that you were edified. Shalom.
That's right.